let's welcome our next speaker, Adalgisa Santos. Adalgisa comes from Kone. Kone is probably familiar for all of you. Adalgisa is going to be talking about the success stories and failures of customer journeys. I'm really looking forward on this presentation because I think it's really good that organizations also talk about the failures. And this is a platform where we should be learning. So not just to tell about police stories, but really to tell about the stories that where you can learn that what is it that you can avoid. But Adalgisa, let's hear it for her.
Thank you. So yeah, hello everyone. I will copy Olga with the same question. How many of you have heard about Kone? Oh wow. I was expecting that almost nobody would be kind of raising the hands. Wow, that was a good surprise. Thank you. Well, yeah, so we also, design cars, but cars that go up and down. We are a manufacturing company. But I will start first with me. So that's me. I work as a service design expert. I'm a competence lead, and I've been, in many customer culture, centricity, transformation, you name it, inside the company. I've been working for Kone for 10 years now, and the reason why I'm really passionate by, for example, customer journey operations is because I've seen many times this kind of situation that, we create the journey, we understand the customers, we go do a lot of research, we create the journey. We have this very nice, beautiful, experience, design, we understand all the gaps and we can, develop the concept. But then when we deliver, like the concept and it's out, many times it kind of, the journey goes to the drawer and nobody is taking care of it. And after like some time, they come again to the service designers, to us, and then they say like, oh, there's a problem here. And then off we go, try to figure, okay, what is the problem? Where are the journeys? Like, where are the things that we have learned? So I'll talk a bit about Kone in numbers just for you to have an understanding on how big we are. So as I said, we are elevator and escalator company. We move 1 billion people every day. We were founded in 1910, so 100 years ago. So it's been a while in the market. And then we have 60,000 plus employees, 60 designers, and then we have over 550,000 customers worldwide. Those customers, they are divided along the building life cycle, and this is something that we have been, so our business lines are kind of divided along the building life cycle. And what I mean by that is that, like, first, the building is constructed, right? So there we are talking with, for example, developers, we are talking with architects, we are talking with, building owners. Then once it's created, then we go to service. Once the building is there is service. There is a need for maintenance of those equipment because it's mandatory to maintain elevators and escalators. So we are there, and then we try to bring more value beyond, the basic maintenance that is required by law. So we try always to understand what are the challenges of our, for example, facility managers, and understand what also like legislations and what are the things that our customers will need. We try to bring extra, services also a bit beyond as well the elevator or the escalator area as well. And then after, for example, 25 years, the building starts to require some renovations, some changes, the same way as the equipment. Then we come with modernization for, we have a lot of opportunities for upgrading the equipment or then changing a few parts just to keep it running for even longer, for example, or then, changing it completely to fit the building or the new usage of the building in case there is a change. I wanted to bring a bit like this picture because this is our strategy at the moment. It's gonna end this year. We are redesigning. We are having a new strategy now. But you can see that we have sustainable success with customers. This is in our strategy. It's been there already for this strategy for 4 years, but we've been with like talking about customers in our strategy for long. And then you can see in the mission and the vision there that we talk a lot about people flow. And I think it's like people flow. It's something that you cannot talk about people flow without really thinking about journeys, about thinking what is the motivation for people to go from A to B, and then what are their challenges? So like I see that the journey creation is something that is very connected to what we aim as a company, what we aim to deliver as a company. So I will tell now a small story, like a story about how like customer journeys, like how was the rise of customer journeys at Kone. And so in 2009, in our capital markets day, it was the first time that we could see, for example, the customer focus point in there. Before it was mainly about the business, kind of our business lines, but now at this moment, that's when we talked about customer and we talked about, being customer focused. And that actually, led to right after like 2009, we had 2010, that a lot of small, service design, projects started to emerge. There were a lot of, like this double diamond. At that point, we had the double diamond. We were using the double diamond as a method for very small projects, kind of bringing the customer voice in, trying to understand the customer, not really trying to shift from this engineering way of working to more customer-centric work, because that was the focus. And then in 2014 we finally get this opportunity, or this big project that was about the new maintenance offering, where we really understand the whole needs of our customers in terms of maintenance, and we mapped this in blueprints, and then we had a completely different way, like this completely different way of working with the double diamonds. But then that got a lot of visibility, and that's when we managed to kind of get attention of like senior leadership and C-level, not only because of the products that, or the services that we created that actually of course made impact to the business, but also on the way of working. And then you can see here, like during this time, like this is our office, and then from very far away, you could see the journey there, like the the pink Post-its. And then that's how our first blueprint was built. And I like to highlight here that the first time we created this blueprint, it was in Excel. And why was that? It was because it was relatable to our business stakeholders, because we wanted them to feel familiar to what we were bringing. We knew that this was kind of new for the company, even though we have had some little projects here and there. It was still fairly new for the size of the company that we have. So we wanted to have it relatable, and that's why we did it in Excel. And then, that kind of evolved into our first global customer journey. What happened here is that like the service part, like that was the first one to be mapped, so kind of a bit higher level, and it came from that project. And then more projects started to pop up here and there, like for all the other business lines. So like looking again at the building life cycle, where you have like the new buildings, and then we had a lot of those similar researches. We had CX initiatives, we had training. I was involved in many of those trainings to bring this customer, value, to bring the way on how to, learn from the customer and how to, design and develop our products more in a more customer-centric way. So now we were getting into this era of customer journeys overload. So that was the buzzword, customer journey. Understanding the customer was it was a buzzword. Everybody wanted to do a customer journey. And then once I moved to I became a lead of a portfolio of products called predictive maintenance. So we call it 24/7 connected service. I was design lead there. I joined it, and I wanted to understand, okay, what do we know about the customers? I knew that we were talking about maintenance. I knew we were talking about the maintenance journey. I knew we had already mapped that, but the product was kind of a bit upper scale, right? It was something a bit more, how they say, it would bring a bit more value, to the customers, and they would pay a premium for that. And I wanted to understand, okay, what do we know about the customers? And then I went to look for, our insights, and I found out from many different stakeholders that there were, for example, over 10 variations of same customer journeys. And the problem here is that those customer journeys, they were sometimes, not connected, actually. They were sometimes, stakeholders didn't know about them. It was like, oh, there is this one, and then there is this one, and then there's this one. So the steps were not really, the same. They wouldn't derive necessarily from customer research or from user research. They would come maybe from the head of the person who created it. Sometimes they were even very inside out, that it would and then sometimes they wouldn't even be called be a customer journey. They would just call it a customer journey because it was a buzzword. So at this point, I realized that we needed to have a live journey, something that would bring everyone within this product or within this portfolio of products to the same place, that people would really understand that, hey, this is the only N1 journey we have. Let's not invent more. And whenever we learn about the customer, whenever we learn about, the value that we are delivering to, or kind of challenges or, anything, we would bring into that journey. So we would align with the team and the different stakeholders within that product. And this was our first attempt. I don't know if this will work. Oh yeah, it works. Good. Yeah, so this is our first attempt. It was in Figma, and I wanted to leave it without the everything because we didn't know everything. So instead of, one thing that I wanted to emphasize as well to the team is that, hey, we don't need to fill in the whole thing. We just need to fill in the things that we know. And then in this journey we had, for example, on top we had the steps, we had the different customer roles in there. We have many different ways of, understanding personas inside, and especially when we talk about customer understanding, it's pretty complex in our industry because we have the customers, we have the influencers, we have the customers that we have to take care of. But here I wanted to simplify a bit, and I went more role oriented. And then below we had all the opportunities to the different challenges and expectations on top. And then inside, we could find what are the kind of the things that we have in pipeline and some prioritization. So the whole idea was quite good. And I started running this, after mapping this, I started running this like workshops with many different stakeholders to kind of see, okay, are we all aligned here? Is there something here that is missing? And one thing that I learned is that actually crafting that journey in Figma was not really actually, a very good idea. So interactions, of course, were great. They were easy to read. It was even better than doing this in Miro or in Excel, for example. But then, it was not very easy or quick to be done. So it was not very, easy for us to, like on the go while we are talking to, for example, change. I had a lot of difficulties having people to make changes or give comments to the journey. Like I wanted different. I didn't want to have only workshops where I would collect these perspectives live, but I wanted to have them like also, writing things there and then being empowered. And they were not really feeling like, doing that. It was like kind of a bit. Like it was a tool that they were not used to. It was a bit foreign for them. So the collaboration was hard. And then, of course, there was like FigJam and Miro. They would allow collaboration, but like in terms of complexity, it was very hard. And this is something that I want to show regarding like this is something that it's perfect. In terms of journey, we have everything there. In terms of blueprint, we have everything there. But nobody wants to look at that. Right? Nobody really will take the time to go there and find, the insight or the problem, And that's why I think that having a proper tool and having a proper tool is rather important to enable this kind of work and enable it to be live, the journey to be live. I decided then, I knew that I needed this kind of tool, and to get a tool in our company is fairly hard, because there are budgets and, we have plenty of tools. And then there's always the question like, why do we need another tool? Can't we do with what we have already? And I needed kind of a case to get some sponsor, someone that would pay for that. So as a service designer, I don't know, like many of you, like some of you may be service designers here, so I don't sit in budgets, but I go there and I advocate and I try to, get budget and like see like, hey, do you want to pay for this? And then we can do this amazing thing. So I wanted to talked with different people to first understand, is there value in this? Is this something that only me as a service design, that I am the only one seeing value in this kind of live journey, or this kind of only one journey that we can operate? Or are there other people that see the value in that? And I actually realized that, like people see value in it, like within, for example, the product I was working with, people were seeing value. They saw value in the work that I was proposing. And we managed to actually, create a plan and then have, some decisions in terms of even like process. We had some kind of like the mindset was there. We had some ideas on governance, and we had a plan for collecting as well, KPIs and the data to feed into this journey. And we did, for example, a benchmark on different tools. And for example, at that moment, my proposal was on Daydo. And then, we even had like, okay, let's do it. We were finding the budget. We found actually someone that could give the budget, but then restructuring came. And those are the things that you cannot control, right? Like sometimes you have everything ready and you have a plan and you have people and, you go, and then when there is restructuring, then, the whole plan goes like change, and it vanished, people change, like the whole, so kind of we had to kind of start over. Luckily, Daydo opened the free opportunity, so kind of we could experiment from without having to pay. So that was something that we did. Like we started to, okay, let's then, I started giving some learnings or kind of sharing learnings and articles with the team. So this is also part of my role as a competence lead, to kind of feed the team with like whatever, like what is going on in the industry, and then trying to get their interested in the topic. And actually the team was also interested. Many of them started to, you know, explore. And then we started like building the kind of different journeys, or trying different journeys in different projects that we have. Yes, it's like a bit spread and it's a bit all over, but I take the example from the service design or the first story I told you, which happened that we had many projects first, you know, and people got sensitized to the topic. People got, you know, aware about the importance of, at that moment, the double diamond process, and now at the moment with about journey and journey operations, you know. So and then at some point, you know, I believe that there will be a project that will kind of launch that. So that's our situation now. So we are experimenting, and then we can say like we don't have, for example, so those journeys, like many of them are not really connected, but since those are done mainly by service designers or designers, they are coming always from the same, you know, like sources, because we have a very good collaboration there, and we are always asking like, hey, do we have what is the journey for this? Is there something already here? So even though, you know, like it's not yet structured, but I see we are in the path, and I do believe that we are getting to towards this. Like soon we will have a project that will kind of, you know, really bring this into like higher visibility, into senior level visibility. But that's my kind of humble story. I wanted to share some 3 key learnings that I got so far. So the first of all is like that bottom-up changes, at least in my experience, they start from projects. You know, it's usually like you try, you fail, you try, you fail, you try, and at some point you get it, you succeed, and that's how you get in there. Then my other learning is that it's important to empower others to try the journey operations approach. So not really think that I'm the one that I'll be an ambassador, but rather like, hey, try it out, see if it works, see if it flies in your project, you know, and then maybe it comes from there, that kind of, or maybe you are kind of learning together and you're building this together at some point. It's important that people are getting aware of the topic and then trying the topic themselves. And then the third point is that, of course, the tool is not the most important part here, but it may help scaling those experimentations, you know. So building a journey or building the blueprint is a really painful work, and it takes time. And then we don't have a dedicated people to do that, you know, like themselves, by themselves only for that, you know, like we do that and we do other things. So this is like, it's important that you don't have to spend a lot of time there, and then you create something that nobody will check because it's extremely complex. So in a way, having a tool there is very important to support. That's it from me. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much. It's been great to be here with you today.